It is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner, please welcome to the cage, Brody Kopp.
Speaking of Lethway, just let LT Nelson in the crowd.
Did you? LT's always around the fights. Brody Kopp, and the one thing I like about him so far, I don't know a lot about him, but 1-on-1 in boxing. So this is new for him, but his nickname's the Problem Kid. So if he shouts out to his mom, she probably deserves it.
That could mean a lot of different things.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Now listen, if his opponent, you're looking at a kid, you hear he likes to throw his hands, and boxing is a beautiful art form, but some people just take to it naturally. You want to hit stuff, right? And if Brody is one of these kids and you see that that's the kid you're fighting, you know what I want to do? I want to put him on his back where he doesn't hit me in the face standing with his feet connected to the ground. So, and if I'm thinking that as his opponent, Brody should assume that whoever's fighting him will want to take him down. So that'll be part of the game. You know, we used to call it takedown defense. That's a very antiquated term now. Really, what you want to do is not defend the takedown, just don't be in a position where they can even begin grabbing you. And that's about keeping gap between you. And so that's what to look for with Brody Kopp here, is to move his feet, pick his spots, move his feet, pick his shots.
JR, one thing I'm noticing too, and we see a lot of quality of fighters early on, but head movement, keeping their head, especially when you're throwing, keeping it still when you're throwing and moving it when you're trying not to be hit.
And that's one of the things that boxers might have a little bit of an advantage of over a quote-unquote
and
traditional
his opponent
MMA
fighting
fighter.
out of the Fowler Chevrolet blue corner, please welcome Dustin Sanchez.
Dustin Sanchez, this will be his debut. He comes from Top Notch, another solid gym from around the area.
A lot of good fighters out of Top Notch.
Now, when you're debuting, you know, your second fight's your hardest fight. Because you know
You've been there.
You know what it is, right? Your first fight, sometimes we can have this sort of this confidence where you've imagined in your mind, you're Dustin Sanchez, and you've imagined, you know what I'm going to do? Go out, touch gloves, move my feet, land my high kick, do a spinning kick, jumping side kick. Then when I'm done, Big Mo's going to raise my hand, Robin Black will say bink, and the ring card girls will want to marry me, right? Like, you can write your story in your mind. Once you've had your second, when you go on your second fight, you know it doesn't work that way. So it'll be interesting, but if you're Sanchez, and he may come out here and just show us a brilliant stand-up fighting game of his own, but you're going to want to look for the takedown of the 19-year-old.
Here's the tail of the tape. 19 years old is Brody Kopp, 5'11", 140 pounds. You see his debut, he terms himself as a boxer, whereas Dustin Sanchez, a few more years on there, still a young man to us at 25, 5'6", 140, and again, debut. Who can adjust to under the lights quickest?
You notice the height difference? If I'm Sanchez, you know, I don't want to stay outside on the end of this long jab from this 5'11", 19-year-old kid. I want to get in tight. When you get in tight, you can wrap up that body and throw him on the ground and see if this boxer can grapple.
Eliminate his biggest asset, which is his reach right now.
Yeah.
Beautiful evening right here in Cheyenne, Wyoming at the Outlaw. Our 8th trip up here for the BK Spectacular. Robin Black gracing J.R. Gordon and I with his presence for a beautiful night of fighting.
It is my privilege, guys. And dusk is just setting on us. Literally, it's magic hour right now. And maybe we'll see some magic here in the cage. That was cheesy, I admit it. But I had to say it. I had to say it. Shout out to my friend, Mo. Who am I thinking of?
Ladies and gentlemen,
We'll get back to
this
it.
featherweight MMA bout is brought to
Mauro
you
Ranallo.
by
How could I
NoCo
forget?
Party
there you
Bus.
go.
Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the short line at Buick and GMC red corner from Rapid City, South Dakota, representing 605 MMA, Brody Problem Kid Kopp.
I like this kid.
And his opponent, fighting out of the Fowler Chevrolet blue corner from Greeley, Colorado, representing Top Notch Sports Academy, Dustin the Gladiator Sanchez.
The Gladiator.
I like it. Problem kid.
Gentlemen, you know
and
the
a
rules. I do
gladiator.
expect a clean fight. Obey my command. Protect yourself.
I met Mauro Ranallo at a Pride event in Vegas. I always thought he had the best announcer's voice, and I thought, man, how does he cultivate that? And then I heard him in the lobby. That's just his voice.
That's his voice.
That's always how he is. It's
He's
so perfect.
truly a genius. Mauro Ranallo is truly a genius. He's a weird cat, but he's a lovable cat. He's a genius.
Here we go, touching him up, and let's roll. You see Justin J. Train Gonzalez in the corner of Dustin Sanchez.
And Kopp, both of them came out and tested with a kick. So Kopp, the boxer.
And there you see the reach coming in. There's that reach coming in. Kopp caught him with that right hand. And Sanchez, it was a flash knockdown, but he recovered.
So it was the front right hand, and literally you could call it an intercepting shot, right? Like an intercepting punch. As his man was coming in, the closest weapon, the right hand, to the closest target, the chin.
It stopped him in his tracks, and if he didn't know if he was in a fight, he knows now.
Big time.
Way of the intercepting fist.
Exactly. He can call himself a boxer. Oh, and he's using that front hand extraordinarily well. And threw a shot, backed right out, and then threw the right hook over top. Watch for it again. Right hand.
And I'm interested to see here if Kopp continues to use that length, which he's used to an advantage for this first minute, and will Sanchez get inside a little more?
I think that Kopp is a right-handed fighter, right hand forward. I really do.
Oh, there's another good shot.
Yeah. He feels like a right-handed fighter with the right hand forward. And while we're referencing, when you said the way of the intercepting fist, of course that's Jeet Kune Do, which is Bruce Lee's martial art. And he took ideas from fencing to go strong hand forward. And it looks like Kopp could be a strong hand forward kid, because you see how fluid and natural that right hand flows.
And how well he changes stance.
Kopp flowed into that turning side kick, and there he goes. He's got some power on his shots as well. That left-right missed, but not by a lot.
If I'm Sanchez, Sanchez is throwing, gingerly and slowly. The hand speed is different between these two. If I'm Sanchez, I'm going to throw a punch or two and then immediately get on the hips or on the body lock.
And you can see Kopp again. That's a nasty shot. A lot more on it. You can really see it cage side here.
It's very elastic, this kid.
Big left hand, looping left hand scored. Sanchez again had his bell rung early on, hit the canvas.
Sanchez stood in long enough to land a hard right of his own.
Big left.
Sanchez is using his front hand with the hard block. So you'll sometimes hear a coach yell, "Comb your hair," and it's like your hand goes against the side of your head to use your elbow to catch. That's great. That'll now deal with the front right hand, but now Kopp is setting up the left hand.
Yeah, Dustin Sanchez has taken several shots, so he's got a chin on him. And if you're going to be in a debut fight, you're going to take some shots, and he's certainly done so.
Yeah, and it hasn't discouraged him. You'll watch his right elbow high. He's doing actually a very good job for a kid who's eaten a few very elastic, very powerful shots.
Well, the good thing is you see that, and you see the combinations. The one thing I noticed, too, is the fact that Brody Kopp throws combinations. Not just one and stop. He follows up, Robin.
Yeah, and those combinations flow one into the next, The punch loads the hip for the next punch.
JR.
Sanchez having difficulty bridging the gap, trying to get past that height and we assume reach advantage, and Kopp taking full advantage of that long reach. You mentioned the elasticity of his limbs. A lot of that comes from his confidence and his ability to stay relaxed in the exchanges. I definitely gave it to Kopp 10-9.
One thing, though, I 100% agree with every word that came out of your mouth, my friend. One I think I will add is Sanchez is still in this fight. And the reason he is because he's mentally not discouraged by this. He's psychologically a fighter. You see it right here. Look at his focus. Look at his eyes. That's a kid who ate, double to triple as many shots as he threw. And you'll see one coming.
In other words, you see a defeated fighter sometimes at the end of the round, which you do not see right now on Sanchez.
Bang on.
Good eye.
Bang on. Sanchez is it. Kopp, right this minute, looks like the quote, better fighter. But Sanchez psychologically is 100% in this fight.
Well, Kopp in the corner, he's just loosey-goosey. Those hips got some oil on him.
Yeah, I like this kid. Brody in the white.
Heard his corner, said, wait till he comes to you and tag him, Brody. Yeah. That's that reach advantage.
It's fantastic advice.
Ooh, big right hand.
Yeah.
Sanchez knocked out the mouth guard.
And Sanchez is putting heat on, and then as Brody backed up, he was firing back, and Sanchez now has a body lock, and he's laced the right leg.
It's something you alluded to at the beginning of this fight before they got into the cage. With the height advantage, can he get inside? Can he get him on the ground and go with what your strengths are?
Yeah, and find out if you know, hey, you're 19 years old. There's only so many hundreds or thousands of hours you can have trained. So how many of those were allotted to fighting in a grappling exchange, fighting on the ground? And the answer, when we see the vertical playing surface grappling here up against the fence, is he did very well. Did very well.
And Kopp did a great job there. And pardon me, because I thought it was Kopp's mouthpiece. It was Sanchez's mouthpiece. So close together, JR, didn't know whose it was.
These two kids are putting on a great fight. Oh, exactly what you want out of Kopp right now is three touches.
3-punch combination. Again, a lot of debut fighters will show one punch and then they'll back off. But Sanchez right back at it.
Yeah.
Gets onto that body lock and trying to get a takedown.
This is an excellent fight, man, between these two kids. Look what Sanchez has just done. We looked at round 1 and he ate a lot of punches. He was dropped with a short right crisp intercepting punch early, and here he is in round 2, halfway through the round, on top in half guard, doing damage and testing this kid.
The other thing it does,
nice adjustments.
The other thing it does, JR, when you look at this, what Robin alluded to in that opening fight, you don't have to win the fight after you lose one round, and this is a prime example of that.
If you got the mental toughness, if you have the belief, it's a game of acceptance. I got punched, I got dropped with the first punch. That happened, I know you commentate hockey. If a goalie lets something in, we move on. It happened and we move on. It's the same thing that we see from Sanchez here. It didn't matter what just happened. I still am here, and I have the time to change this fight, and he's doing that. He's doing that. He's on top, and he's doing damage, and he's fatiguing Kopp, and that will affect round 3 as well.
Which is an incredibly mature mindset for a young fighter.
Absolutely. He had that left arm pinned and got off some hammer fists up against the cage, and you see him continuing to score right now, where Kopp had that first round control. Now in full mount, Sanchez is doing everything he can to get those points back. Kopp rolling out of that.
Awesome
Great
work.
job.
The kid should back off now. And he does. Awesome work. And that took a lot of energy, but watch for a three touch here from Kopp. He's going to throw 3 punches. 1, 2, 3.
Boy, both of these fighters, it's been an ebb and flow fight, taking some serious punishment. Kopp fires back. Here comes Sanchez, now with a little more confidence. Front snap kick by Kopp. Oh, and a left hand lands by Sanchez. Draw a little bit of blood. Kopp counters back with the 3-punch combination, and we're going to go to the 3rd round. Seconds are out here. Wow, JR, there's a lot to unpack in that round.
Well, we talked about what Sanchez needed to do as they was getting ready to come into the ring, and that was get in close and shut down the ability of Kopp to use those long limbs. Not only did he do that, but when he was in close, he chose the position of where he wanted to be and used that to his full effect. Going from the side, lacing the leg, then eventually later on the other side of the cage, getting the takedown, working his way to mount, firing his strikes. Kopp did a really good job with his striking when he was able to get it off, but I give the advantage to Sanchez that round. So I have a 1-1. Let's see how the 3rd round plays out.
And those punches are tough there. They opened him up. They bloodied the nose. This push-off takes a lot of effort, but he made it work, right?
If you were teaching a class.
Yep. That's the awareness. That is a vertical surface that you can use as part of the playing field. That's what it is to have positional awareness. There's only one thing about this fight that sucks, and that is that only one of these guys will win this fight, because these two kids are bringing a hell of a contest.
Which leads me to the point. Can you believe these are debut fighters? Because when you see that, you see the skill level and what they're able to do and deal with.
Sure giving us a lot to talk about.
All right, seconds are out. Let's see who wins this one, as this may be the rubber round. Both fighters have used what's worked for them. Sanchez starting to find a little bit of a home for things and more confidence as he gets Kopp up against the cage and looking for that takedown.
When you join the hands behind the thighs, you must get the takedown, and he does. This position, his coach, and right to the mount again. And I don't think he's going to, and same foot position against the cage that he needs to be aware of, but now he does. So he moves to 4 points. So he flowed with the wave. He surfed the wave and comes up sternum on spine.
Wise to it.
Yep.
Sanchez was able to get control of that neck and try to continue. He's got one hook in, trying to get that second hook in.
He's got to get
Kopp's back. Oh, and Kopp comes back, and there's the slam back, but Sanchez able to keep control.
Yep, and Sanchez just wants to get his left arm around the face, which he does.
Looking for that rear naked choke.
Yep, and he may get it, but even if you don't, you can now attack the spine, you can attack the jaw, you can fatigue your man, and you can punch him from here. You put him belly down, and you put punches on him. That's what he's going to look to do here.
Both now into full mount as Kopp rolls over, and the exchange of punches coming. Kopp doing everything he can to jump out of that situation, but right now, perfect position for Sanchez.
Look at the look from our position, we see Sanchez's face. Highly focused, chilled out, not overly mentally aroused. He will take all minute and 35 seconds here to damage his young man underneath him. And the ref will stop it. If he can't get him off, one more buck, and that'll be the last of them.
Yeah, that's about it, because the exchange of punches, there's just too many coming here as Kopp's covering up, and now he gets to the point where he can at least cover some up, but he's not returned to blow.
No,
that's about it.
Yeah. Yep. Such a wonderful fight. And, you know, I feel for Brody Kopp. But look, he gets up and he thanks this man for it. He loved that fight. And that is the right thing to take from this. He couldn't get himself out from underneath, and he understood. He fought to the very end. The ref had to stop this fight. He's upset, but he should be proud of this performance. That's a 19-year-old kid who knows he belongs in a cage now.
Thank you for the lessons learned.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a mature outlook on the outcome of this fight.
And JR, when you look at that, you saw a fighter that went down early. Kopp was using everything. The momentum turned. He didn't hurry it. He stayed with it. As I'm rubbing a little bit of blood off your sheets here, Robin.
It's not going to be the last of it. When he throws back to try to shake his man by slamming him back, that's not the preferred approach to it. But he didn't have another answer, and that was just his will looking for a way to change the fight. Brilliant, beautiful, wonderful fight. But Dustin Sanchez is a rare and special fighter.
That technique by way of defense, it's going to go very, very well, or it's going to go very, very wrong.
Yeah, there was no in between. Let's get it up to Big Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee calls a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 44 seconds of the third and final round, declaring your winner by TKO, Dustin the Gladiator Sanchez.
Where's the candidate for fight of the night so far, boys? Let's hear some words of wisdom here from the comeback kid.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined by our winner, Mr. Dustin Sanchez. First off, Dustin, congratulations on the win. You stayed really composed in there. In the opening round, he was taking a little bit of the initiative, delivering a few more shots, but you stuck to the game plan. Now, coming from Top Notch, a lot of wrestling background, a lot of wrestlers in that gym, and you wanted to go the takedown very early. Did you know that you were going to control this fight from the ground?
Yo, honestly, I was just letting my body do its thing. Fucking got clipped, it is what it is. Went for the takedown, ended up winning either way, so it is what it is. The shit was fucking fun, though. I love shit like that. More of that fucking shit.
I agree. I loved it as well. And you wanted to stay up close in the stand-up game. Are you finding that you're really effective in that close-up clinch kind of area?
Oh, dude, I'll fucking stand and bang with anybody. I don't give a fuck, really. I'll fucking trade. Anyone wants to do these fists, they can fucking get that shit. I'm fucking ready.
Hey, we got to get the censorship in the trailer going, man.
Hey, real quick, there's a lot of people that have been waiting for this moment for me, and there's a couple people that don't have the pleasure of being here anymore to witness it. I'd like to say rest in peace to my best friend Peter. I miss you, bro. I wish you could have seen this shit. I fucking did it, man. Look, I'm here. I'm fucking doing it.
Well, I'm sure Peter would have been really proud of you, man. I'm sure all of your fans are really proud of you. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for your winner, Mr. Dustin Sanchez.
All right, fellas, it's time for a break. And if my wife ever tells me I'm cussing too much around the house, I might break that little clip out. But again, at home, only use it when you need to. Back in a moment.